So I'm going to make two very practical books today. They're not going to be decorated or so I'm going to make a very practical book today. There's not going to be any decoration. It's just going to function as a word book. I've actually two of them to make, but I'll just start with this one here. Those are those mini little cereal boxes, which are a really good size for what I like to use in the classroom. And I've stuck down the fabric with Fabri-Tac tack glue, and then this piece of paper. I did it some time ago, so I'm gonna probably have to put some extra glue there. So I've just bought a notebook for £1 out of BM Bargains, and I'm just opening the staples. Probably shouldn't use them all. And I'm counting 13 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13. So that's the first half of the alphabet on this side, and then the other half there, because I do an alphabetized word book. And of course, what's left in this one can be added to what's left in another one. It just saves a lot of time in class if children have their own word books, if they're writing essays. And I'm just actually setting this cover aside now, which can be used to decorate for another journal. If I got the page number wrong, it's no big deal. You can snip the threads and go again. So I'm just lining it up. I don't want it right up to the edge of the lining paper, or even up to the edge of the book. So just line it up with a little bit of the lining showing. Put the pencil away, and basically that's where I need to cut it. So I'm going to line up this little dot, line up here, so we've got a straight edge, line up this dot with a vertical, make sure everything's lined up. I prefer to use a metal ruler. I do have wooden rulers, but I've been known to take slivers off the edge of them, which doesn't help the accuracy of the ruler or the sharpness of your blade. So that's the excess, and of course there I've made little booklets out of those as well. So that's cut number 1, and you can see, I don't know which is the best angle, it nestles inside that, so I'm going to close it. That's the way it's going to be bound. You can see I need a bit of glue in here, so I'm just going to put a mark here, and again line up my pages, line them up vertically, horizontally, and then this mark. Now that's the very outside of the book, so I'm going to come in. There's my vertical. I feel as if I'm going to move back a bit here, so I get I'll move back too far, but I'm just going to see that I have a certain space there and do the same here. and hopefully I've gone back enough. And these are going to be loose pages, so again they can be used for little flip notebooks. In an ideal world you'd make 3 notebooks together. This kind of notebook I do a lot of staple it on, and then there's like a flip. This sort of more landscape notebook, so you could make all 3 together. So let's see how that works. If it was too big, you can always trim it after, but I think that's fine. So I've already marked, my spine is 1 centimetre, so this is 1/2 centimetre, 1.5 centimetres down from the top, 1.5 centimetres up from the bottom, and it's a 12 centimetre high book, so that's at 6 centimetres from each end and 1/2 centimetre. So I'm going to place it where I want. It would actually be better to fold it backwards. And maybe just fold back the inside page. It's a small notebook, you can do templates, but with a small notebook it's not that important. So that's the center page, and I'm going to fold it back again. I might just score it a little bit. Clip it so there's no shifting around, although if you've got good grip you can hold it. So I think I'm just going to put these holes in separately. You can go through the holes in the spine and the paper all together. Notice you're putting your awl in quite horizontally. You have tips on the mark. Close the book so it goes through right in the spine. And the further you go with your awl, the bigger the hole. You can do these down the way. Just got a wee bit of packing scent sponge, I don't know what it is called. I'm just going to go through both ways. It's not expensive thread, embroidery thread, so I just do 3 lengths. I'd rather have enough than fiddling about. So that's the top of my book, that's my top of my page, and just through both. If I could see. Yeah, this just wasn't holding the book right. I think I can get rid of the clips now, they're hindering me. Through. And through. Holding on to my tail. Some people like making really big holes, pushing it all through quite far. But these are children are going to use them, so I like to keep the holes smaller and just their wear and tear on the book. And I'm trying to make sure I come through beside the original one. It's not actually the end of the world if you split your threads, you can. Might put that down. No, it's this one I need to pull. Oh! Go again. So that's my middle. Now everything's out of place. I was going so well there. Let's see what's going on. When the pages, am I going to put each one on individually? I don't really want to do that. Right, I'm just going to try and get them all together. You'd think they would be fairly together with the threads through the other holes. Right, let's try this. Some people tape the middle thread down, and maybe that's a good thing. Right, so I'm trying to get through the middle hole here. There we go. And I didn't split the threads this time, so I'm just going to make sure it's lined up. Before I tighten it, I want it to be fairly square along the top. So you're pulling but not tearing. You do a square knot and one for good measure. All that's left for me to do, and I'm not going to bore you with it, but I'll to put the letter on each page. And if I find myself coming to the end and I didn't count the pages correctly, it's no big deal, you can snip. So, cereal box, scrap of fabric. As you can see, it's not very well done. I've just stamped with permanent ink with a little word stamp, an ink pot and an ink pen. And when they sit in a box like that, all the children know which colour is theirs. Okay, thank you for watching.